Hi everybody, welcome to Mondays the Millennial Chef. My name is Nikki Leone. On tonight's menu, I am doing salmon cakes. So they're essentially the same exact thing as crab cakes, but instead of using fresh crab meat, I'm using salmon meat. And one thing to note, I'm also using canned salmon meat. So it's way more inexpensive, it's a huge time saver, and it's just as delicious. So I've done most of our prep work tonight, but I want to show you what I have here. So in this bowl, I have 3 cans of salmon that I have mixed with 2 eggs. I use some mustard, Grey Poupon. You could obviously use just yellow mustard, whatever you have on hand. Whole grain mustard would be nice. I also am using some non-fat Greek yogurt instead of mayonnaise, which is your typical binder in a crab cake, but we're gonna keep it a little bit healthier and use Greek yogurt. I love to substitute Greek yogurt instead of mayonnaise. It gives it a little bit lighter of a flavor and it's just less calories. So, salmon, we have mustard, we have Greek yogurt, egg, and then I put in a little bit of panko breadcrumb, which is a Japanese breadcrumb, also a little bit lighter, and this just makes it fluffy and beautiful. And then, so that's our base here, right? And in every fish cake of some kind, you need to add some fresh vegetables, some fresh flavors. So, what I have here, I have sauteed in this pan, bring it over here. So I have sauteed really, well not finely, but pretty finely, bell pepper, onion, and celery. And I had a little bit of olive oil, salt, pepper. I put in some fresh tarragon, and I also have capers, which I think are absolutely perfect in a crab cake, a salmon cake. They're pretty much just little olives, and they have that really briny flavor that pairs perfectly with any fish. So whenever you're having fish, you can put some capers on it, and it'll be great. I'm stuttering tonight, guys. I haven't done live in a little bit. All right, so we add this in here. We're gonna add this to our salmon mixture. You could obviously do fresh salmon too if you wanted. You can just bake that up and use that too. But like I said, it's a Monday night. We had a long day at work, so I'm trying to cut some corners and save some time for us. So I just used canned, and I've made this before, and canned is just as good. I'm just saying. All right, so in there, for anyone who's just tuning in, we're doing salmon cakes tonight, which are just the same thing as a crab cake, but with salmon. You could do lobster cakes. You could use any kind of fish to make this recipe. So we had canned salmon. We have some mustard, Greek yogurt, breadcrumb, egg, and the vegetables are bell pepper, red onion, and celery. And you can use, any vegetable you like, but I think those 3 go really well in the salmon cake. So next, traditionally I would use Old Bay seasoning. But instead, I'm gonna use this kind of like a Creole seasoning instead to kind of have a little twist on this tonight, but Old Bay would be great too. So we're gonna put in some Creole seasonings, which is like cayenne and cumin, some chili powder. I think it has it on here. It's a little spicy and it's really, really nice. So that's going in there. I'm also adding a little flair here, and I'm using some cornichons, cornichon, however you want to say it. They are pretty much little pickles. They're small, sour pickles, and they go really, really nicely in a fish cake. So this is what they look like. They're little tiny baby pickles. How cute are they too, by the way? And then we're just gonna do a really rough chop. These kind of go flying everywhere, so you wanna be careful when you're cutting them, especially if you're in a small kitchen like myself. Do a rough chop, whatever you wanna do. I'm gonna do a little bit finer so we kind of keep the uniform small dice going here. So chop those up. And capers and cornichon go really well together. It's the idea that you have this vinegar paired with fish, and it's just a really classic, beautiful pairing when you're making any form of fish cake. So in go, we'll call them baby pickles because that's a cuter name than cornichon. Okay, so the baby pickles go in there, and then I put some capers in the vegetable mixture, but I'm also gonna put a little more in here too because I just absolutely, my hands are washed by the way. I love the flavor of capers with fish. I just think it's an absolute perfect pairing. And then I didn't do fresh garlic tonight. I'm just gonna do some granulated garlic instead. Just again, save some time. But you could obviously have diced and minced some garlic and put it in the vegetable mixture when you were doing that. So then, let's get a spoon here. And we're gonna mix it all together. And that's essentially, and you know what, look at all these ingredients. It's a really healthy dish that is inexpensive. I used canned salmon tonight, so you're really cutting some corners in that regard when it comes to cost. They were like $2 or $3 a can, so winning in that sense. And look how pretty that looks. Look at all the colors. It's almost like confetti. So we're gonna do this, mix it together. That looks absolutely, and it smells really nice. It smells really fresh and delicious. Okay, so mixing this up. Now, if we had a little more time, I would put them in the refrigerator for like 30 minutes to kind of make it easier to form the patty, but just for the time saving here, I'm just gonna do it really quickly for you. So you could absolutely fry these. You can make them into cakes, get a saute pan and fry them, but again, I'm gonna keep it a little bit healthier. I'm gonna bake them in the oven. So you're simply gonna get a spoonful, and you're gonna get a little messy. But like I said, if you put them in the fridge for half an hour or so, it'd be a little easier to make the cake, but we're just gonna go a little bit wetter here. More wet, that's not a word. Okay, you can make them any size you like, but I'm gonna keep it like this, right? And parchment paper obviously makes it not stick. You don't have to spray the parchment paper or anything. You just put parchment paper down on a sheet pan and you put these right on there. You just form little cakes like so. How pretty is that? Right? And I'm gonna make them a little bit smaller so we have a little bit more. I'm gonna make one more and then show you what I'm serving this with. Let's do this. You could also get an ice cream scoop here to ensure you have the same size cakes, but I'm just gonna eyeball it. There we go, make a little cake, and that's your cake. So I'm gonna keep forming those, right? And then I'm gonna bake them in the oven on 400 for about 15 to 20 minutes. And I wanna show you what else I'm cooking up tonight. So, like I said, 400 degrees, I have it preheating, about 15 to 20 minutes. Since everything's cooked here, you're just gonna try to brown them and make them form into really nice patties. And then we're gonna serve it with, this is, again, like the easiest salad ever. I just got some baby kale. I put a little bit of salt, pepper, Parmesan cheese, and fresh lemon juice. And we're gonna serve the cakes on top of this, and that can be your whole dinner right there. But I took it one step further and also just did some instant couscous, because I love couscous with my dinners. And that's just, again, you like boil water, instant couscous. We're gonna have that too. So that is our salmon cakes, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Tune in every other Monday, 7 o'clock, either Facebook or Instagram. And this recipe will post on the website, millennialchef.com, tomorrow morning. Thanks, everybody.